My throat hurts. I accidentally made myself the spiciest meal I've had in a very long time. Years, actually. I was craving a certain type of soup. It was meant to be spicy, but I overdid it. My throat really burns, but let's be serious. Let me get my podcast voice ready. Welcome to Mysteries Nnayereugo. I'm your host, Esther. There's a Japanese proverb that says, the reverse side also has a reverse side. In other words, every story has another story hidden beneath it. This is completely different saying from there are two sides to every story. This proverb means there are two sides to the story, but the other side of the story has another story hidden beneath it. For example, I get mugged at knife point. I report it and I share the story. I was mugged by this guy or girl at knife point. Now this mugger is brought in, they're questioned, and they go, yeah, I took her purse. I didn't mug her. She actually gave the purse to me. I didn't have any weapon. Did you say I stole? I didn't. They handed it to me freely, so now those are two different sides to the story. But one thing that's undisputed is the fact that they have my purse. It's not theirs, shouldn't be with them, so that point is undisputed. They have my purse. Now their side of the story has another side to it. Why? Why is my purse in your possession? Most times, the reverse side to a reversed side are known to the people around or better understood by family members, friends, not really the parties involved in the main story. And that could be no truer than a relationship, because relationships are so perfect from the outside looking in most cases. It's two people smiling in photographs, matching outfits, vacation pictures, birthday messages, supportive comments, anniversary posts, public declaration of love. But what is not being captured are the arguments, the resentments that could be felt at times, or even fear that exists as a result of the relationship power dynamic. Imagine for a moment you're watching a movie. The opening scene shows a young couple laughing together. The next scene shows them taking selfies, then celebrating birthdays. You think you already know how the story ends, because movies teach us that love stories usually end happily. But then halfway through the film, one of the characters dies. You weren't watching a love story. You were watching a tragedy. You just didn't know it yet. This is known as narrative fallacy. It is our tendency to create simple stories from complex events. We look at happy pictures and assume people are in a happy relationship. We look at attractive couple and assume they're compatible. We see public affection and assume they have private peace. But in most cases, the truth is always far from what we think we know. In July of 2023, Nigerians woke up to a story that seemed almost impossible to comprehend. A young, brilliant university student with a promising future, a relationship that at least from the outside appeared normal, and then suddenly death. But what transformed this tragedy into one of Nigeria's most discussed true crime story wasn't merely the death itself. It was what happened afterwards. A social media confession, disappearance, an international manhunt, an escape, and a fugitive who, according to authorities, would later allegedly attempt to fake his own death. Quick announcement before we get back into today's case. Mysteries Nnayereugo officially has a home on the internet now. You can find us at mysteriesnnayereugo.com. And no, it's not just a pretty little website sitting there looking mysterious for decoration. You can actually find all the episodes there, listen directly from the site, read episode details, check out transcripts if available, and basically stalk the shows in a much more organized way. If you've got a story, a weird local legend, a cold case from your state that nobody's talking about, or just straight up what the hell situation, you can now submit it directly on the site. So pause this for 5 seconds, or don't, keep listening and bookmark mysteriesnnayereugo.com. I repeat, mysteriesnnayereugo.com. Now let's head back to the crime because Killaboi could not behave himself. back with another two-parter. If it were possible to make this a single episode, believe me, I would. Like I didn't mention, a young student is dead. Killer goes on the run, public apology online, multiple arrests, multiple disappearances, change of identity, alleged faking of death. So much information to go through, so I will make this into a two-parter and I'll quickly share with you the outline of the two episodes. Before we get started, in part 1, I'll introduce you to the victim, their family background and everything to know about them, and also the suspected killer, who they are, and everything there is to know about them as well. I'll introduce you to their relationship, the relationship dynamics, and the last days leading up to her death, the day she was discovered as well. Whatever the public netizen opinions and theories of mine, if I have any. Then in part 2, we will talk about the confession by the suspected killer, their disappearance, first arrest, second disappearance, alleged faking of death, second arrest, and the extradition, indictment to court, and where the case stands today. So let's get into it. This episode discusses real events involving violence and death. If the case becomes too heavy for you at any point in time, please take a moment to go take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Today we're discussing the case of Augusta Osedion, popularly known as Asta, and who was found dead on the 13th of July 2023 and was believed to have been killed by her boyfriend, known as Killaboi, by the government's name of Benjamin Nnayereugo. Augusta Osedion was a young Nigerian woman with her entire life ahead of her. She was born on February 3rd, 2002, and by all accounts publicly available, she was intelligent, ambitious, and deeply committed to her education. She was drop dead gorgeous. There's absolutely no other word to use. She was beautiful. And at the time of her death, Augusta was a student of Led City University, a private university located in Ibadan, Oyo State. But she wasn't just like any other student. She was reported to be very, very intelligent. She was beauty and brains in all sense of the word. She was extraordinarily beautiful and also academically gifted. Families, friends, and her acquaintances later would speak to her character, saying that she was very disciplined, kind-hearted, and focused. She had lots of dreams. She wanted to be educated. She was determined and willing, ready to work towards building a future for herself. Her brother does share that due to how beautiful she was, and they weren't so rich, they weren't rich at the time, they were living within their means, they would have to buy and wear thrifted clothes. Although when she was popular, she was known to be the face of brands, like wears brands only almost. But before the fame came, before the money came, they would wear thrifted clothes, living within their means, nothing to be ashamed of. He said he'd select some clothes from the piles that if anyone else were to wear it, they wouldn't even look decent on them. But once she puts it on, it would look expensive on her. The way she would embody it, her energy, her confidence would make, even if she was wearing banana leaves, people would believe that banana leaf came from Balenciaga. With the liveliness, the brains, the smarts, the beauty, it was only a matter of time before she could find her spot on the internet. She creates an account, she's on the internet. Gen Z, we all grew up on the internet, unless we didn't have the means to have internet. She posts pictures of herself, and with her striking look, it didn't take long before she started getting modeling gigs, ambassadorial contracts, and she'd write on her bios, contact for booking. If you needed a model, you needed someone to promote your brand, and just online influencing, marketing, stuff like that. She was good at it, and she was making lots of money from it. And you know, when it comes to influencing, you get lots of free stuff as well. So now she's posting, always looking gorgeous, beautiful. It didn't take long before she caught the attention of someone else who had also opened shop on the internet, and his name was Benjamin Nnayereugo. She meets Benjamin, who was also very active on the internet at the time, and he went by the handle Killaboi. Honestly, just speaking for myself, that name would freak me out because Killaboi, Killaboi, even if you shush up the whole spelling, the message is still there. Killaboi. Really? They meet, and the heart is fickle. It wasn't long before she started feeling something else. It wasn't excitement, it wasn't adrenaline, it wasn't happiness, it was love. Or at least, that's what she believed it was, because so many guys were tripping over themselves to get into a relationship with her. But she picked Benjamin because she loved Benjamin. At the age of 19, so in 2021, she and Benjamin began dating. Who is this Benjamin guy? Benjamin was 24 at the time, or 25, because when the crime happens, he's 26 or 27, I believe. When they met, he was already internet famous. He had this huge following, and he was always posting videos and pictures of himself, posting luxury items, expensive watches, cars, luxury hotels, chartered jets, and he would tell people that he makes his money off crypto. Most people are into crypto, and if you know anything about crypto, you could easily make money guiding others towards making money off crypto as well. Most guys would be in his comment, would be like, please show us the way, share your secret, help us, just show us the way. But other sources would also say that he actually was telling people that he was into betting. So a very lucky gambler, I guess, that he would place so many bets, bet a huge amount on a certain game, and he would win the bet. So he would make lots of money, reinvest that money into more bets and win more money, and still have enough money to keep doing that while still living the high life, luxury, flashy, expensive, uppity life. Take this guy to Vegas. All those lottery machines, he could go break them all. So some sources would say, oh, he was into crypto, he was a crypto trader. Other sources would say, no, he was into online betting, some lucky gambler. But regardless, one thing was very sure, he was always flaunting money. He was always flaunting money. And Augusta was always flaunting her beauty. She was always flaunting her body. Most people have the opinion that an egotistical man that loves flaunting money, loves showing himself in expensive cars, wearing expensive jewelry, the only thing to complete that look is a pretty girl on his arm. So he's here looking for that pretty Barbie to have on his arm to make him feel ultimate. On the other hand is a cute Barbie, loves expensive stuff, loves glitz and glamour and shimmers and shiny. And like Marilyn Monroe said, diamond is a girl's best friend. And money for diamond, Killaboi had. That pretty girl feeling, I got a girl out of my league feeling, Augusta had it. So they merged for mutual selfish reasons. Augusta here for the glitz and glamour, while Killaboi was there for bragging rights. Most people were of that opinion at the time. And honestly, a young girl of 19 years old who's already living the high life, you're living your best life, and then you meet a boyfriend who can keep that best life going. Of course. I don't know any young girl who just tasted fame, who has people vying for her, but she finds the one guy that has the looks, has the money, has the attention to give her. More of a package deal, at least that's how they present themselves to you. I don't know of any young girl that's gonna say no. What nobody at the time knew was he had a record, or at least allegedly he had a record. So when he was 23, he was arrested by the EFCC. Again, allegations. He was arrested by the EFCC on reports of fraud. He defrauded people of 150 million naira using their credit cards on a POS machine. So a card machine. How do you use a card machine to transfer 150 million naira? What kind of car, what kind of purchase is that? A car? He was arrested for defrauding people of 150 million naira. At some point, the case went cold. Some people believe it was swept under the rug. Augusta was not privy to this knowledge. They get into a relationship. At first, new love. It's hot, it's spicy, it's sultry, it's in their face. They're posting pictures of themselves, going on vacations, going to fancy restaurants, having dinner together, flowers, gifts, diamond shops, testing the carats of the diamond. How authentic is it? Just killing us, suffocating us with so much cuteness and luxury and money, and smell it off the screen of your phone. So many girls would leave comments like, "You're so beautiful, I wish I was like you, I wish I was you," because she looked so beautiful that people believed if you look that way and you don't live that kind of life, there must be something wrong with you spiritually. Like, oil no day your head, because with that kind of beauty, that beauty should be opening doors for you. No one was bashing her about anything or leaving negative comments at the time. It was just cuteness overdose, until suddenly her friends started to notice a difference in her. The replies to messages would get shorter. She starts making excuses not to meet friends. She starts meeting them, but for shorter hours, and the whole time she's with them, she's glancing at her phone over and over again, responding to messages as quickly as they arrive. And it seems like her world has been invaded. She's lost control of her time, herself even. Suddenly, the online posts are no longer about her dreams, her goals, her plans. They're more of gratitude, appreciation, praises for her boyfriend. And when they ask her, "Is something going on? Please talk to us. Is something going on?" She's like, "No, everything is fine." After some time, she started to open up to them that he is controlling. He is very fickle when it comes to his emotions. He could go from 0 to a 10 in like record time. And the friends would try to get more information about the situation, like, what's really happening, like, give us an example. And she'd go, "Well, suddenly he wants to control the way I dress, and he's telling me that my clothing are not so appropriate, that most of the men on the internet are predators, and my choices of outfits are provocative and could be putting unhealthy ideas in these people's minds, that the minute I find myself in a bad situation, lots of things could happen to me. So I need to revamp the way I dress. I need to start posting different types of content." He wants to know my every movement. He wants to know where I am, who I'm with, every information. He needs location tags, shared location. He wants to know where I am at every point in time. And when I tell him he's getting a bit too controlling, I don't like it, we would get into a fight. And then the next day, he'd buy me a gift to apologize. I don't think it's healthy. And the friends would try their best to help her, because in cases like that, you really can't tell someone, "End it right now." It has to be their decisions, but you try to like talk them towards making that decision. So they started to do that. They started to help her by slowly helping her see, "No, this is a situation you should walk away from. She's warming up to this. I think this is something I should do." At this point, she's been dating Killaboi for over 2 years. We're now in 2023, and she's starting to distance herself, or trying to get to it. Killaboi senses the withdrawal, so he books a vacation, invites her to go with him. She was hesitant. According to her mother, the mother didn't want her to go, so she asked, Where are you guys going?" The daughter told them, "We're going to Seychelles." She used to tell her mom everything, including that vacation, because when she met Benjamin and they started dating, she immediately went to her mom and told her mom, "I'm dating this guy. I just started seeing this guy." The mom was like, "Okay, that's your first official boyfriend. Can you bring him over? I want to speak to him." So she invited Benjamin to her home to meet with her mother. The mother interviewed him, almost interrogating him, and was asking questions about him. "What do you do?" And he told them, "I'm do this, I'm do that," and would show proof, evidence that there are actually activities being done on this thing towards making him money. So she felt like she's done her due diligence to make sure her daughter is not with a predator. So when she finds out from the daughter, he wants to take her to Seychelles, she's like, Can I speak to him? I want to know where he found that money, because that's a huge money to spend on vacation. It's not even like you guys are in the best spot right now." So he comes over, she asks him, "Where are you getting the money from?" He said, oh, I just made this huge amount of money currently and I wanted to use it to do something nice for your daughter. She says to him, why don't you use it to start a business? Invest the money. You don't need to spend it on my daughter. Invest the money. At this point, to reiterate, the daughter has posted so many content showing exchange of gifts, holidays, dinners, dates. When it comes to food, if you show me, yeah, you consumed it. Because most restaurants, once it's on your table, they're not taking it back. You gotta pay for it. When it comes to gifts, I always see them as photo props, especially if I just see them on social media. I just like to convince myself those are photo props. High chance they were rented. High chance they were borrowed. You tell the whole world it was a gift. Maybe it was just a prop. So the mom is saying, why do you want to take her on a vacation? That's too much money to spend on her. Invest it instead. He says, no, I want to do it. He books the holiday. They go to Seychelles. There's a video of her on that holiday where she's running on the beach. She looked really happy, bubbly, her old self, just running on the beach. And then later on, there's another picture of her on a boat and they're just floating on water like a lake. She looks very contemplative, like someone who is lost in their thoughts and just forcing a smile for display. She looked like half of her soul wasn't there anymore. So my understanding is perhaps first day or first few days they're there, it's going well because this is another love bombing, feels her withdrawing and tries to reel her back in. She's excited to be there. No one's gonna go on a vacation and frown their faces the whole time, but perhaps they end up fighting and now she's over it because that picture you could tell she doesn't want to be there anymore, but she's still being polite and smiling. Not like a huge bright smile, but a polite smile. And they come back from the holiday. He still has a suspicion. He's still not letting it go. So he starts to wonder, why does she want to leave me? Maybe a little self-reflection would help, but even if he was standing right next to the moon, he still wouldn't be right. He decided she must be planning to leave me because she has someone else or she wants to be with someone else. Otherwise, why would she want to leave me? I would never leave me. On 11th of July, 2 days before she's found dead, according to Augusta's mom, Augusta calls the mom. No, Benjamin calls the mom first and goes, hello, ma. Your daughter just booked an appointment with a guy on Instagram for a hookup. Your daughter's cheating on me or your daughter's planning to cheat on me. What would she do that to me? Wait. The mom's like, calm down, calm down, calm down. I don't think my daughter would do that. I raised her better. She wouldn't cheat on you. And not in that way. But give me a minute. Let me speak to her and understand what's happening. Maybe you're just not understanding the situation. Maybe let me speak to my daughter first. Mom calls daughter. Hey baby, Benjamin just called. He said this. And the daughter's like, oh my God. Mom, a random guy on Instagram reached out and started talking to me. We built rapport. Then he invited me over to pay him a visit. I told the guy that I was not in Lagos because I'm back at school. But when I return to Lagos and I have the time, I might visit him. So it's not definitive. Yes, I'm gonna come the minute I arrive in Lagos. If I have the time, I might come see you. That was it. That was all. Turns out that guy she was speaking to that invited her to his house was Benjamin. He created a fake account, reached out to her, built rapport, then invited her to his home. And the minute she said something that sounded like an approval, he flipped out, accused her of many more. After the call, not long, Augusta calls the mom right back. She's freaking out. She's panicked. Mom's like, hold on, baby. What's going on? Mom, Benjamin just locked me out of my account. He locked me out of my account and that is how I make money. That is where I make my money. That's where I influence. He locked me out of my account. And she's panicking. It's like, Mom, he can't do this to me. He can't do this to me. I have so many followers and that is where I make my money. She's crying. She's frantic. And the mom says, okay, relax. I'll speak to him and ask him to return your access to the account. The mom calls Benjamin Killaboi and asks him to return the account back to the daughter. He does. He returns her access back to the account. So that alone shows the level of control he had over her at that point, that he could easily just remove her from accessing her account. Because it's one thing, they threaten you and demand that you delete your account or restrict access to your account, like make it go private, or to delete certain contents, or to outright just deactivate it. It's one thing if they instruct you and force you to do it yourself. It's another thing to completely override your control and do it themselves, which would mean they have access to your login username and password. In the times these days, multiple verifications, they have access to the email that's tied to that account and the password to that email. That is a lot of private information for a boyfriend to have. Too much information. There are couples, married couples, who don't even know the login password of their partner's computer. And here's someone having all that information that most times could be tied to your bank accounts and your online purchasing accounts and everything. Too much information. Too much. He had that. He just removed her. But after the mom asked, he gave the access back to her. He calls her and was like, we need to talk. I know this situation. You wanted to go meet this guy. What if it was another guy? What if it was a different guy? What if it wasn't me? We need to talk this out. So he tells her, I need to see you. She thinks about it and goes, okay, fine. I will rush in tomorrow so we can meet. She just wants to get it over with. The next day, 12th of July, she makes her way to Lagos. She arrives, and in the evening, she heads to visit Benjamin, and she was never seen again. The next day, the brother finds out that she didn't sleep at home. And he's like, okay, mom, where is Augusta? The mom says, shouldn't she be at school? And the brother said, no, I believe she's in Lagos. And the mom was like, oh my God, did she go missing? Because if she came to Lagos, shouldn't she come visit? We would see her, no? The brother was having this feeling. He just had this feeling. Something happened to my sister. And after hearing about the whole Instagram impersonation and all that, he just had a bad feeling about it. So he told his mom, Benjamin did something to her. We need to go to Benjamin's house and look for her first. We need to rule it out that she's not there before we start looking anywhere else. The mom's like, I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he lives. He lived in Ajah, an estate in Ajah at the time. But the mom knew that Augusta's roommate knew where her boyfriend lived. So the mom reached out to this roommate and was like, I need you to take me to her boyfriend's place. She comes, they drive towards the boyfriend's place, and she directed them to drive there. Before even going, her mother reached out to Augusta's godmother, told her, your goddaughter is missing. We spoke to her roommate who's going to direct us to her boyfriend's place to just see if she's there, but I just wanted to let you know. The godmother was like, I'm coming with you. So they all went together, the mother, godmother, and the roommate. They were driven to Benjamin's place, and the roommate would direct them there. When they got there, the gate was locked. You could see Augusta's car in there, but they kept knocking and banging the gate. No one answered. No activities inside the house. No lights, no curtain moved, nothing. With that kind of noise, at least someone would look out the window. Nothing. So the mom started to feel worried. According to the mom, the roommate was acting iffy, like kind of very fishy during the directing. Like she's like, I'll go there, like trying to act like she doesn't know the way there, or like they were getting lost on purpose. That the grandmother even suggested she should be arrested, and the mom said, no, I'm not here for her. I just want to find my daughter. As long as she takes me to Benjamin's house, it doesn't matter how long she takes or however she acts, I'm not here for her. So when they got there, the godmother is like, okay, I'm gonna call some police officers. This is wild. So she called some police officers who came. More people now came. The mother's brother came over as well. They're all there trying to get in. The mother's brother told the mom, I'll scale the fence, climb into one of the rooms through the window, because one of the rooms upstairs had the window open, just open. He did that, went into the house through the window, went through the house, came back out the same way he went in, because there was no way to open the gate from the inside, and it was locked, couldn't be opened from the outside. So there was no point using the entrance. So he went out the same way he got in. He came to the mom, told the mom, nobody's there. I didn't see anything there. I didn't see anyone there. okay, you didn't see Augusta in there? And he said, no, I think they went out. My daughter's car is parked right in the parking. Yeah, but I think they left in his car. They're together. They definitely are together. Her car is here. They went in his car. Yeah. The mom was slightly relieved that, okay, chances are she's still alive, but still with him regardless. She goes home and they keep trying to reach her. She's responding. They text her. She's responding. And it sounds exactly like her. So the mom is saying to herself, okay, my daughter is safe. She's just with someone that I have questions about right now, but okay, they've been together the past 2 years and okay, calm down. 3 days go by. It was on a Sunday. She just came home from church. Her brother comes home, meets her, and tells her, sis, I should have told you this, but I couldn't. When I went through the house, Augusta was there. She was dead. What? She was what? I couldn't tell you. You're already so afraid, so panicked. I knew it would break you to see her the way I saw her. I never wanted you to ever see her like that. That's why I couldn't tell you. I told the police officers before we left, so they stayed behind. They broke into the house using a ladder through the same way I did, broke down the locks and everything, went through the entire place, took her to the morgue, and she's there right now. The mom immediately breaks down, starts to cry. Oh my God, no. She rushes to the morgue and she meets the worst shock of her life. And that was when she understood why her brother couldn't tell her daughter was there, because Augusta was brutally stabbed to death and then mutilated into different pieces. With this realization, the mom is thinking, who has been responding to my text messages? Every single time I call my daughter, she doesn't answer. If I ask her to call me, she doesn't call me, or even call me back when she misses my calls. But if I text her, she responds. And she sounds like my daughter. So the mother and the brother, they went through the messages. It sounds exactly the way she does, but with deeper investigations, they realized whoever had Augusta's phone was not even trying to sound like her. They were literally copying her previous responses to her mother, pasting them and resending. So if the mom asks, how are you, baby? Where are you? He would just scroll upward to the last time she ever had to answer a question like that. Whatever her answer was, copy that, paste it, and then send. The family was very sure Killaboi was the one responsible for what happened to Augusta because her car was there, meaning he was the last to see her alive, and suddenly he's nowhere to be found. At that time, when people heard that she was cut into different pieces, they believed it must have had something to do with ritual killing, and so ritual killings would require him taking certain body parts with him if he had disappeared. They started spreading the rumor that he had mutilated her and had taken certain specific body parts with him when he disappeared, but the mother said when she visited her daughter at the morgue that she was only in parts, but all body part was accounted for. People also read the report that he had left a letter, but the authorities never outright confirmed to the people if they found a letter there or not, or the mother's brother who had gone in and seen her first would have known, because the reports were, oh, the letter was on her or right next to her, but the brother never said anything about a letter to the mother. Most people were like, yes, it's definitely ritual because he wasn't even trying to hide it. Crypto trading, he never even shared tips, tutorials, updates, info about crypto. And wait, lucky gambler? For years, living the expensive life on lucky gambling? Come on, people. It's either Yahoo or it's money ritual. That's I see, he wasn't even hiding it. Of all the usernames you could use on platform, why Killaboi? Of all the usernames you could use, Killaboi? So then the theory surfaced by netizens. His somewhat endless supply of money was a result of money ritual, and that occasionally when your contract with the devil is about to expire, you'd have to make a new sacrifice. This is based off of the research I made in netizen comments. You'd have to make a new sacrifice to renew the contract. Is it something I really believe in? Not really, but does it mean that dark powers don't exist? Definitely. I believe there's lots of darkness on earth in this world. It's just not a superstition I want to personally dictate my life around, or a fear I want to have. So people said, yeah, that's definitely what was happening here, because say it was an accidental stabbing, or they got into an argument and they ended up struggling over a knife and she accidentally got stabbed, not even because he stabbed her on purpose, but maybe she was wielding the knife even and he struggled for the knife and she accidentally got stabbed. That's a different situation. But for her to be found in pieces, what was the reason for the mutilation? The authorities started looking for him. There was a manhunt and he was nowhere to be found. From the time she arrived at his house and the time she was discovered, he had bolted. And the netizens heard of the situation and the comments were heartbreaking. It had lots of divided people. Some people were quick to blame her family. Why would they let her just go on different holidays with him? What if something happened to her in a different country? To the murder, there were reports of them fighting on their holidays. So what if he had stabbed her then? The expensive flaunting of gifts and goods and money and golds and glitz. Wasn't she too young for those things? Wasn't she too young to be flaunting her relationship so publicly? They should have been a little bit more parenting, a little bit more disciplining. People forgot this was a child that was already putting herself out there to attempt to gain some attention, build herself a brand, because she was hoping to go into fashion after university education. She was going to start her fashion brand, and someone who was already always wearing different fashion pieces, looking so beautiful, who was a fashion trendsetter, and then she starts her own fashion brand. It makes sense. People, they know that, and even after they knew that, they still went from blaming the mother to blaming her. Oh, she wanted to realize her dreams too quickly. She wanted to be successful and live the uppity up life. But instead of waiting to do that later on in her life after she's worked and earned it, she wanted to use relationship to fast track herself there. And after so much mental cartwheel, eventually the blame was now on Benjamin. And that was really sad to me. How does the killer become the last to be blamed? And whenever they blamed him for her murder, they would always leave comments like, he killed her for ritual purposes. Most people wasted no time comparing themselves to the victim. At 19, the only trips I was allowed to take was with my parents. Wow, such a sad story. At 19, taking a trip with your parents, that was a choice. That was your family dynamic, unfortunately, because at 19, you're an adult. At 19, I was living alone. It all depends on people, because your life went that way doesn't mean it's one size fits all. It works the same way for everyone else. This tragedy could have happened to about anyone. Some special people took to blaming the country. If there is one country that should be banned from flaunting this baseless socialite lifestyles on social media, it's Nigeria. These big boys, big girls competition is definitely not serving us. I saw this comment and I couldn't understand where this person was getting their information from, because they said, the fact that this mother knew and was even relating with this Killaboi is nauseating. Apparently she was getting some gifts from him and her daughter too. Now it is end of discussion for her daughter and the boyfriend. The mother already told everyone that he bought her things like vanities. Not even the pricey kind of vanity. It was like wigs, clothes, wristwatches, dinner dates, flowers. On her 21st birthday, she posted pictures and videos of him gifting her a Mercedes-Benz. The mother said no, he didn't buy her a car. So people were like, who is lying? Is it the video? Was the car rented? Was it a prop? Or is the mother lying that he never bought her a car? The car she had was hers, which she bought herself. Mom said he didn't buy her a car. He never bought her a house. He only bought her wigs and stuff like that. What's really there to warrant you killing another human over? What are you really losing, except you're losing control? In part 2, we will find out what exactly happened on that night according to Killaboi, his confession, which he did so dramatically on Instagram story while on the run, then ran faster afterwards. His arrest, his escape from prison, his arrest again, and currently what the government are doing about justice for Augusta. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Soon after that, he called me, "Mommy, I'm going to deal with Augusta. I'm not going to kill her." I said, "What is killing has to do?" He said, "I'm going to collect everything I bought for her." I said, "Well, for the last time I checked, you didn't buy her a car, you didn't buy her a house, you didn't buy her anything. Maybe hair or maybe bag. So it's not a problem. But until she comes." Not knowing the next day my daughter left for the place, how he deceived her to come, because she will not move that kind of move without telling me. She only told her roommate, Onidamola, that she's having issue with her boyfriend, which that one didn't even tell me too. When she got on the 12th, Benjamin killed her immediately after 12 midnight that day. Collected her phone, was chatting me with her phone. Now he will go and copy Augusta. The exact way she used to reply me is how he will copy and paste back to me, making me believe that she was the one chatting me. So on Saturday morning, my son reached out to me early morning. "Mommy," I said, "Yes." He said, "When did you